Hi guys, my name is Zin and this is Maybe Bonsai. Today I'm going to prune this, I think it's a cedar, but I think the cultivar is Primo, and it has really tight foliage. It's a really compact tree. So I'm first going to find where the root base is, and then I'll try to prune from there. I actually had to cut this pot because it was too tall and you couldn't see anything, and I wasn't able to get access to the bottom. And this pot is double potted. There's like a mesh basket in here, so I can't really take this out because if I do, any roots that was growing, it would get separated, and I don't think this is the right time to do that. So I'm gonna have to work with what I have, and I'll just try to rake out the bottom and see where the base is. And it looks like it's actually pretty deep because I still can't see it. The problem is I can't go down anymore, or it's hard to go down because I'm kind of digging into the basket, but it's at least about a centimeter or 2 centimeters down, so I can't really get there. And what I'll do is I'll just this is as deep as it goes, so you can see a bit of the trunk here, but yeah, I can't really go any further. So we'll work with that, and I'll try to prune this, open the tree up, and see what we're gonna get. I don't think this will be easy. It's a small tree, but I think this is going to be tough because the foliage is extremely tight, and I just feel like there's going to be a lot of work to do. So when I'm looking at this, this here, I would say it's probably a good front, or at least something to work with. I know there's a long branch here. There's probably a branch over here and something coming out here, but it's impossible to tell. Everything is too tight. I can't even see inside the tree. So I'm going to try to move stuff around and see what I can find. There's actually a lot of spider webs in here, which I'm not seeing any kind of insects. I think they're just regular spider webs, which is okay. But I'm gonna have to start taking out branches because if I don't, I can't see anything. So I'll take out some of the smaller, weaker branches that I don't think I'll need. So there's like one here. Yeah, this is tough. I've noticed there's some dead foliage inside. I don't know if it's leftover from before, but they're all brown. I mean, you don't get any sign inside, so it's not really a surprise. So that branch I'll probably keep because it's a strong branch. It's a bit low, but I think I do like low branches, so that's I like that. There's just some really small branches at the bottom here. That I'm not going to need. There's one kind of major branch here. I'm just trimming some of the growth that's really close to the trunk. Just getting rid of those. Some are kind of facing up. Some are facing down. This is probably the most compact tree that I've ever worked with. And from what I did before, I had a couple other small trees where the foliage is there's a lot. It took a long time to prune, and I think this is going to be the same case. So there's like 2 branches here, and they're basically parallel. I mean, they're coming out of the same area. I would like to only keep one, but at this time I'm not really sure which one I'm gonna keep. There's also one coming out of the back of the exact, oh no, this is a little bit above, but it's really not a good spot. I'm gonna take that off actually. So one of these branches I'm gonna pick as the first branch. I'll move on to the next level up. There's just a lot of small branches inside. You can't see them and you can't get to them that easily. Okay, so that's probably our front, because both branches are coming out this way towards the front. And if this is the front, I'm going to take off this branch as it's coming directly at us, blocking the trunk. So I think the next level or pad up could be here. You know, I'm going to try to move this down so there's a bit of space here, and then you have the next level. I'm just removing some foliage that's really tight to the trunk, or growing towards a downward direction from a regular branch. There's a branch coming out the back here. It's a small branch, but it's a good spot. The height of it, where it's at, so I'm going to keep that one. And then the front here, boy, so this is one major branch here. So I'm going to get rid of the one above it first, because they're too close. I can only keep one. Well, let me just get rid of some of the upwards foliage first, see what's maybe there's a different option here. Yeah, these 2 branches are very close to each other. So I'm going to take off the smaller one because the bigger one has much more foliage. But it is wider. Let me see. Okay, there's some small branches here. I'm just going to take out the really small ones, just so I can see better. You know, they're so small I can just pinch them off. So you got these 2, you got this one in the back. That is the one I'm going to keep. I'm thinking about keeping this one too, which is a little bit higher than that one, but it could be too close actually. So I'm actually going to take this big branch off, and I'll keep the one above it. It's a really big branch. Let's see if I don't have it. Yeah, I think it's actually too thick as well at this height. I mean, the bottom one's not that thick, this one's basically the same size, or maybe a little bit bigger actually. So that whole thing's gone. It's a little tree by itself. Okay, that one's completely off now. So again, some dead foliage inside, which is why this tree needs to be opened up, or else everything inside will just die off. There's actually two here in the back, these two branches here, which are in good positions. They kind of fill in that space and make the tree look more 3D. So I'll leave those. Removing a small branch in the back. I'm just cleaning up the trunk here. There's a lot of kind of buds that's pushing out, but I don't really want branches coming out here, so I'm just gonna rub them off. Let me see this in the front here. Yeah, so I think I might take this off, because without that we have this. And then you got level up back. I mean, it doesn't look bad with it, but it just, they're coming up pretty much the same spot like a bar branch. I don't know. We'll decide later on. Okay. So these two in the back, that right there. There's a bunch of small branches on the trunk here. I'm going to remove some of these just so I can see better, and you know, maybe I'll see something that I'm not seeing now. So there's a branch in the back over here that I think it's in a really good spot. So I'll definitely leave that. And I'll probably cut off this branch here, because it's kind of just right on top of it, and there isn't that much space between the two branches. And then at the top I got these. That could be my next one down. Where is this coming from? So I'm just styling this like a regular kind of pine or juniper-ish look, just like a regular uniform upright. But you know, there are other ways to do this. You know, you could style it to the type foliage it has. but I'm just not that creative at this time. So this is all I'm doing. You know, I'm sure if you've been doing this for a long time, you have better vision than me. But hopefully, you know, hopefully in the future I can get better at that. So going up from here, it's like the branches aren't that developed. Most of it are smaller branches. They're still green kind of. They're not even woody yet. There's some woody ones, but you know. There's kind of this branch here that I like the position of, but it's kind of blocking the trunk. At the same time, it's coming towards the viewer. But it is natural for trees to have branches, you know, coming towards the front. I mean, there's not really a front when you look at trees in nature. Well, I mean, there it is, but you know, not to the tree itself. You know, I want to remove this. Then that branch can stay. So that stays. I'm trying to clean up this cut here. That's what the back looks like right now. There's all these green dots on the tree. They're just what's trying to push out. So I need to work on this apex area, this ball of growth. And there's not that many developed branches. Like this guy here, I'm going to keep tiny stuff at the top. And then the top, there isn't really any clear options. It's just a bunch of stuff right now. I'll take that off. I'll keep the small one instead. So I think for the top, I'm just going to go through with my hand and take out any really small, short branches that hasn't really developed and is just crowding the trunk right now. And hopefully that'll leave me with some bigger and more clear choices afterwards. So I've pulled out as many as I can. There's probably still some in the back here. And then the top is really tight. Can't really tell what's going on here. But there is this one branch here that's really strong at the top, and it's quite long. I don't think I need that branch as the top. You know, you want to kind of going up to a canopy shape of a triangle. So that, I'm thinking of taking it off or shorten it. I'm just trying to see. I think it's too strong. Like it's, you know, it's quite thick for something that's up there. So I am going to take that long, strong branch off, and we'll see what we're left with. Okay. And right now at the top, I got two branches here. This is the apex that's going up. Oh boy. So all of these two branches, I'm going to take one off. Actually, I'm going to shorten the top one first. Maybe I don't have to take both of them off. So there's this thing here that's going up, and I don't want that to go up. So there that goes. There's actually a horizontal branch coming off of it, so that's what I'll take. And I'll shorten this a bit. And then the other side, which is this branch, try to clean this up a bit to make it a bit flatter, a bit shorter. And I think the top of the tree can be right there. So right now it's like that. I don't want it to just, I don't really want this to go any higher. I think I'd rather keep smaller trees. So maybe not the whole thing. I'll take it off here. Something like that. And so this branch here is split into two. Actually, I'm trying to clean up this side here. Get rid of that. Give us some room there. I think this might have been wired before. I'm not 100% sure. It just looks like the tree is twisted, because you get these branches coming out this way, and then it kind of start coming out different directions up here, which makes me think it might have been wired, so the tree's twisted and the growth pattern changes. So let me just try to clean this part up a bit. So it's almost better if you look at it from slightly on an angle, so you can see the entire trunk. But I think the top, I'll try to thin it out a little bit. It's really busy up there. Just going to pinch some of the growth back. Pinch the tips off the top. Yeah, so I do find the apex the hardest to style. That's what I found before, and I still feel the same way. Could be due to the lack of experience. I think these two here can be shortened a bit. I'm just going to pinch them off. Actually, I'm going to cut this. I find that sometimes when I pinch, you get this vein of the branch kind of sticking out, basically not being pinched off. So I think I'm happy with the shape of the tree, but I'm going to shorten the bottom out just a little bit. I think it's a bit too vigorous, it's a bit too long. And I'm just going to make it a tiny bit smaller. Just taking the tips off of these. Oops. Okay, it just came off. This one, we'll take it back here. And I think ideally I want these to be a bit flatter. I'm not going to wire this, but I'll put like a guy wire. I guess I am going to wire in a bit, in a way, but just, make that heavier so it goes down a bit more. Kind of the whole tree, kind of just make it flatter. So yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to touch the apex anymore. I think it's fine. The tree looks okay from the front. There's a lot of scars, but that'll heal. But I think from the side it looks a bit skinny. So if you this is the front, but you start spinning, the tree kind of narrows up, and it's just, I guess it's a lack of three-dimensional tree. But I think in nature you do get that as well, because the sun always come from more or less of the same line. So some of the tree tends to grow out more, and then on the other side grows less. So that's fine for now. I think after a while it'll grow out of it, I think. I'm just trying to do some last minute thing here. Some upright growth I'm taking off. This bit here is a bit heavy. I'm gonna try to thin this out a bit. Just pinching some parts off. And then I'm going to take this kind of upward growing off. Yep, okay. Yeah, you know what? I think this is the problem here. I'm going to take this one off. Yeah, that's much lighter. Okay, guys, I think that's all I'm going to do. Oh, there's a spider there. I guess I'll leave it. It's not it eats insects, Okay, So I've set up actually another, I guess, bench. I got another plastic platform, and I moved some of the trees around, just so it's not too crowded and I can fit more on. So I'm going to show you that right after this. Okay, so this is the new bench, or the new platform. Everything was on there before, which is like 2 of these small ones are the exact same size as the big one. Actually, it's a little bit smaller. So I moved some of the stuff over to here. The one on the right, the area on the right, gets the most sun because it gets the morning sun, the afternoon sun, pretty much the entire day. And then here it gets a bit less sun. It misses out on a little bit of the morning sun, but you get everything else. The morning sun is a good sun because it's not that intense, but the problem is I don't have an area that gets morning sun and not afternoon sun. At least not a really good area. So I put the ficus stuff over here. Some of the stuff getting leaf burn I moved over, but I'm thinking leaf burn is unavoidable now because it just tends to get burned all the time. So that's what I did, and hopefully it's going to help the ficus a bit, because what I noticed is that they don't really need that much sun. You can see even now, because they were over there before, the leaves are kind of folded, and I never see that indoors. In indoors, the light level is very low. On here, like look at these, and I think it's because of the amount of sun it's getting, and Nigel thinks the same thing. So that's what we're going to go with. Just trying to, okay. That's why I moved it in, so that it doesn't get that much sun. I even moved the silk trees and the Brazilian rain tree in as well, because you can see the leaves are kind of half folded, and that's just a sign of too much sun. It doesn't need that much sun, or maybe it's too intense, but I'm doing whatever I can to try to fix the situation in a way, and hopefully it works. So I'm gonna water these again. I already watered once today, but it's a bit hot today. It's a little windy, and this was watered like maybe a couple of hours ago. It's all, the surface at least, all dried up. It's grass growing in my soil. So I'm gonna do that. So this is gonna be it for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next week.